Good morning, Godly Play friends. Happy to be back with you today to talk more about Heifer International and learn about some more animals. Today I thought maybe my friend Alexa could help me with some things about animals. Maybe you have Alexa at your house too. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. It's World Space Week, and I'm celebrating with a tune about the universe that I hope
Alexa,
will be a big
stop.
winner.
Alexa, what sound does a sheep make? Alexa, what color is a cow?
Cows are black, brown, and white.
And Alexa, what sound does a pig make?
Here's a pig snort.
Thank you, Alexa. Stop. Now, I've been practicing this with Alexa a few times, and every time I asked her what sound a pig makes, I got a different answer. One time she told me that she only speaks English, not animal languages. So I've had to be prepared for a lot of different answers from Alexa. But anyway, she was a help. Now, if I had asked you what sound a pig makes, you probably would have said, oink. That's what I would have said. So, the pig is our animal for today, and let's find out some more facts about pigs. Before a female pig has babies, she is called a gilt, G-I-L-T. After she has babies, she is called a sow, S-O-W. A sow can weigh up to 400 pounds. A male pig is called a boar, B-O-A-R. Some males can weigh up to 900 pounds. Baby pigs are called piglets. Baby pigs may be born in a litter of 6 to 15 piglets at one time. Piglets weigh about 3½ pounds when they are born, but they grow quickly and they weigh about 35 pounds by the time they are 6 weeks old. Pigs may also be called hogs or swine. There are about 300 different breeds of pigs, all different sizes and colors. Pigs can be pink, brown, black, or spotted. But all pigs have some similar characteristics. They have heavy, round bodies with bristly skin, and they have a round, flat nose called a snout. Pigs can use their snouts to dig up food out of the ground. Pigs have good hearing but poor eyesight because their eyes are small. Pigs have 4 toes on each foot with a hard hoof at the end of each toe. And of course, most pigs have wiggly, curly tails. Some people think that pigs are messy and dirty, but they are actually neat and tidy, and they like to keep clean. They need a clean place to live with a pond or a tub of water. When it gets hot, pigs need to moisten their skin or they will get sick. They roll around in water to lower their body temperature. If there is no fresh water available, they will roll around in wet mud. This is called wallowing. Farmers feed their pigs corn, cereal grains, and soybean meal. Pigs love table scraps too. But pigs don't eat like pigs. They only eat as much as they need. When the farmer has only a few pigs, he may keep them inside in sties or pig pens. But if the farmer has lots of pigs, he may keep them outside in a field with little huts called arks for shelter. We think that pigs were domesticated about 8,000 years ago. The ancient Egyptians used pigs to help them plant crops. Their hoofs made holes just the right size and depth for the seeds to be planted. Christopher Columbus brought pigs to the New World in 1493 on his second voyage. Wild pigs can still be found in most parts of the world. They may be called wild boar, warthogs, or babirusa. Most pigs are raised to go to market to become food for people to eat. Their hides can be used like leather to make things like gloves, belts, or shoes. Some pigs never go to market. They may be kept as family pets or for showing at fairs and festivals. Pigs are the smartest of all farm animals. Some scientists think that pigs are even smarter than dogs. Pigs can be taught to come when they are called, roll over, fetch, and pull a cart. Hi everybody, I'm back. I hope you learned some things about pigs. I certainly learned a lot of things about pigs. Now when I think about pigs, I think about piggy banks. And when I think about piggy banks, I think about money. So I want to tell you some things about money and about Heifer International and money. And then I am going to tell you a story about Jesus and money. And then we're going to go back to piggy banks. So here we go. So money is something, first off, money. We'll talk about money. So money is something that we all need. We need money to pay for our houses and our food and our clothes. And we get the money, mostly adults are getting the money, but we get the money by doing a job that we get paid for. And some people have the job of farmer. Now that's not the job that I do, and I don't think it's the job that your parents do, but some people have the job of farmer, okay? And farmers get money by selling their crops or selling their animals, and then they use the money to pay for things like their houses and their food and their clothing. So Heifer International wants to help people to become farmers or to become better farmers. And they do that by helping people to get crops or animals that then they can use to be a farmer and sell to get money to pay for the things that they need. So Heifer International needs some money too to help them in this work. And how do they get the money? Well, they get the money from different places, but some of the money they get, probably a good amount of the money they get, comes from donations, or when we're at church, sometimes we call this offerings, okay? So you or I or anybody can help Heifer International by making donations, and we can do that by buying a sheep or buying a cow or buying a flock of chickens. And when we give them the money to buy a sheep or a cow, they take that money and they buy the sheep or the cow or the flock of chickens and they give it to one of these farmers who needs it. Okay, so that was sort of our quick lesson in money and economics. And now let's talk about a story with Jesus and some offerings. All right, so one day Jesus and his disciples went to the temple. And in those days, it sounds like to me that almost right inside the front door of the temple, they put the offering plate. And when people come into the temple, the first thing that they do is they leave their offerings in the offering plate. and then they go on to worship in the temple. So one day, Jesus and his disciples were at the temple, and they must have been sort of sitting close to the front door and close to the offering plates and watching the people come into the temple. And they would watch one person come in who was known to be a very wealthy person in the community. And that person would come in and leave a very small amount of money in the offering plate. And then somebody would come into the temple and they would leave a very nice, big sum of money, a generous sum of money in the offering plate. But they seemed very, almost angry and upset about leaving such a big offering. And then the third person who came into the temple while Jesus and his disciples were there was a widow. And a widow is quite often an older woman, and her husband has died, so she's by herself, and that's called a widow. So the third person to come into the temple was a widow, and she brought with her 2 very small coins, probably in our money in the United States would be 2 pennies. She brought 2 pennies, and she left them in the offering plate. And those 2 pennies were probably all she had, all the money she had, but she gave it with a glad heart. So Jesus turned to his disciples and he said, "Who do you think has given the greatest gift?" And the disciples were thinking, well, it's the person who gave the most amount of money. Jesus said, no, the person who gave the greatest gift was the widow who gave everything she had with a generous and glad heart. So I think that's a good story that we should all think about as we're sharing what we have with others. Okay, now we're going to go back to piggy banks, and I'm going to show you how to make a piggy bank. All right? So I have everything that we need here on my work table, and maybe you saw before, earlier in the video, that I have 2 little piggy banks. These are ceramic piggy banks. Now this piggy bank is heavy. I've had this piggy bank out on my counter for a while. And when I have spare coins, I drop them in the piggy bank. And then when the piggy bank is full, I take all the coins out, and I usually wrap them up, like all the pennies together, all the quarters together, all the dimes together. And I take them to the bank, and I turn them in. And then what I like to do is to use the money that I've saved in my piggy bank for one of my projects. And as you get to know me, you might realize that I always seem to have some project or another going, like the breakfast bundles or the hygiene kits or whatever it is. And so I like to use the money that I've saved in my piggy bank for one of those projects. Now, this piggy bank is getting pretty heavy, so I think it's time to take the money out and turn it in. This piggy bank looks pretty similar to the other one. I actually found this piggy bank in my heifer box when I got the heifer box out. And I stuck a couple of dollar bills in there that I found somewhere, like in my pocket or something. Well, anyway, I'm going to show you how to make your own piggy bank. And your piggy bank is going to look something like this. I made a sample so we could see what it's going to look like. And this piggy bank is made out of a water bottle. And I like to use these little water bottles. I think they make cute pig shapes. But you could use a bigger water bottle or a juice water bottle or any kind of bottle that you have around your house. Now, I'm going to show you how to do this using the supplies that I have here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you the supplies that you need to make your own piggy bank in the mail. All except for the water bottle. I'm not going to send you the water bottle because that would be a little too hard to send in the mail, and I think you can probably get your own water bottle or juice bottle. But I'm going to send you everything else so that you can make your own piggy bank. All right, so let's get going here and start the piggy bank. Besides the water bottle, the other things you're going to need are probably some scissors, a pencil, and I'm using a glue gun, but I think you can use regular glue or craft glue to do this project too. All right, so we start with the bottle, and the first thing I'm going to do is take a piece of paper, and I'm going to send you the piece of paper, and I'm going to wrap the piece of paper around the body of what's going to become our piggy bank. So I'll put a little thing of glue there. The thing about a glue gun is the glue gets very hot. So if you do use a glue gun, you need to have your parents helping you. And I'll put some glue on the other end of the paper and wrap it around the water bottle like that. Oops, and hopefully it will stay. When I did this, my sample, it stayed right away. All right, so that's the body of the pig. Now, the next thing I think I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to put the feet on the pig because I think that will help it to stand. You could kind of do this in a different order if you want. So I put a thing of glue in 2 spots here, 2 feet on one side. So I just stick the beads on where I put the glue. And 2 spots of glue on the other side. The beads are rolling away. And I stick the other 2 beads on. And that will help the water bottle to sit up off the table and not roll around. That's why I did the feet first. Now you notice on this little pig, I got the eyes kind of sideways. That's another reason why I wanted to do the feet first, so I could get the eyes and the ears on straight. But the next thing I think I'm going to do is the nose. So what I did was I cut out a circle of the paper, and it could be the same paper, it could be different paper, and I'll put a little dab of glue on the bottle cap, and then I just stick the paper on there, and then I'm going to put the cap on the bottle, so that will be the pig's nose, and you could draw some nostrils or something on there if you want to. All right, I think the next thing I'm going to do are the ears for the pig. So out of the extra paper, this time I'm using different paper than the paper I used on the body. I cut the shape of an ear, and then I folded over the end of the ear to make a little flap, so we'd have something to stick the ear to the bottle. So I put the glue on that flap and then just stuck the ear on the bottle, and then I'm going to do the same with the other ear. Okay, so there are the ears, and now I'm going to put the eyes on. I think I'll put the glue on the bottle and then stick the eyes onto the glue. So, and these are just squiggly eyes that I got at the craft store. So there's the eyes. And now, the last thing we're going to add is the tail. So I have a pipe cleaner, a pink pipe cleaner, and I'm going to wrap the pipe cleaner around this pencil a few times to make a curly tail. Oops, let's take the pencil out the other way. Now in my sample, I actually stuck the tail inside the back end of the bottle. But this time I think I'm going to try and glue the tail to the bottle. So I'm going to leave a little end on my tail. Maybe I'll spread it out a little. I'm going to put a dab of glue on the back end of the bottle, and then I'm just going to stick the tail right there on the glue. Okay, now the last step in the piggy bank is to put a slot at the top of the piggy bank where you're going to put your coins. And this is another thing where I think you need your parents to help you, because you need either some sharp scissors or maybe a knife, a sharp knife or something like that to cut the slot through the paper and the bottle. So that's something you want your parents to help you with. But you can make a slot at the top of the bottle, and then you can fit your coins right in there. And there's your piggy bank. So this is what I'm going to do so you can make a piggy bank. I'm collecting all the supplies that you need to make the piggy bank, which is paper, beads, squiggly eyes, and pipe cleaner. And I'm going to send them to you in the mail. And the only other thing you're going to need is the water bottle, a pencil, and some scissors and some glue. And then you'll be able to make your own piggy bank. So, one last thought before we go for today. So Miss Helen and Mr. Joe and I thought that by the time we were done talking about Heifer International and all these animals, that we might want to buy an animal for Heifer to send to other people. And right now we're kind of thinking that we'd like to buy a sheep. We're still talking about that, and you know, if you have ideas about it, we'd like to hear your ideas too. But we're thinking that maybe towards the end of November, before Christmas, we would like to use the money in our piggy banks, or Mr. Joe's going to see about money that we've put in the offerings at church, and we'd like to use that money to buy an animal for Heifer. Kind of as a Christmas gift, maybe. So, give that some thought over the next few weeks. Maybe you'd like to see if you could collect some coins in the piggy bank that you made to help buy an animal for Heifer. And next week, we'll talk about another animal. Bye, and have a great week.